And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. It is a fantasy role playing game of high detail but very easy to understand. You can imbue your weapons and gear with magically charged ink. You will find a link in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flesh, a feature noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find the link to their website in the description and in the pinned comment as well. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay what you want tabletop RPG where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns that are looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Era Zone project. This is a collection of zine style minimum artwork, not yet playtested tabletop RPG ideas, covering everything from horror to science fantasy to modern fiction. There's a lot of stuff. You will find the link to the Kickstarter in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Now, today, let me maximize first. Maximize. Okay, I am continuing the solo actual play tutorial of Dragonbane. If you haven't seen the other parts of my solo campaign and tutorial series, please check out the playlist in the description. Just a small recap, the adventurer by the name of Garman the Reckless, the rugged fighter that focuses more on stealth and cunning, is still moving through the breach, through this underground complex. Somewhere in this underground lair lies the hideout, the cultist room of ceremonies, where a piece of a weapon that can destroy demons is found, is hidden, or at least being kept. Remember that the physical appearance of Garman is that he is quite old, close to his 60s, quite rugged. He has a somewhat long beard, not extremely long yet until it reaches covers his neck, not in a neck beard sort of way, but more like a rugged athletic adventurer style. And he's dressed in leathers. He wants to be as stealthy as possible. Previously, he managed to make it not exactly unscathed, but at least he survived, avoiding the trickery of evil dryads. And now he moves further, deeper into the dark tunnels. And I need to generate the following room. As usual, I will try to make it as clear as possible when I am playing the role of Garment and when I am uh, playing the role of the world as the game master. And so it begins. I roll to determine the area. Excavated mine. I roll to determine the number of details. 4 details. Danger, oddity, true oddities, environment. I roll to determine the danger. Sealed doorway. I roll to determine the oddities. Gigantic corpse. Unsettling laughter. I roll to determine the environment. Flinging webs. I draw improvised weapons. I roll to determine the number of improvised weapons. 3 in total. Stalactite, stalagmites, puddle. The danger die due to the effects of the ritual that was completed, where the brave Mallard Knight failed. Now cause the evil forces to mobilize faster. The sound of heavy stumps is heard as Garman makes his way into what is quite clearly an excavated mine. The only other exit is a sealed doorway. The area is filled with webs. The gigantic corpse of a spider lies in pieces. Garman can hear the unsettling laughter of what he recognizes as a troll. He remembers the words of the old wolf king by the name of Ingolfur. The troll once called this mage a friend and has protected the tower for centuries. With the conjurer's death, the guardian wanders the breach and hunts those who seek its long dead companion's wealth and wisdom. It is quite clear for Garman that a troll approaches his location. As Garman, I put down the torch and my sword No, my because of the panic, Garman confuses his dagger for a sword for a moment, pulls out his longbow, takes aim to the farthest area of the tunnel that he used to enter this cave, and fires an arrow with the intention of creating a distraction, giving him time enough to find a better hiding place near the gigantic corpse and the webs. I use the adaptive ability of humans to use bows instead of sneaking. The arrow flies through in a direct path towards a corner in the tunnel, causing a loud sound within the tunnel. The laughter stops, and Garman springs into action, running as stealthily as possible behind the corpse of the gigantic spider. The stomping resumes, but the laughter does not. A huge green shape, hairy and smelly, with a hag like countenance, enters the tunnel, looking around everywhere, giving enough time for Garman to sneak behind, making it outside of the cavern with the sealed portal or door. The hazard timer resets. Garman realizes as he makes his way that he left his torch and his dagger behind. Horses! Garman exclaims as he continues his getaway. I now move to the next section. As Garman, as I leave the tenuous light provided by the torch behind, I pull out another torch and light it. It was difficult to do so in the darkness. The hazard goes up quicker, the hazard die. Danger is sure to find Garman due to his delays. As he makes it into the next cave, he remembers the words of Ingolfur. Not often does the bridge gaze back at me, but I see eyes beyond counting, peering out from stone flesh. Look not into their fiendish glare, or risk your mind. Garman realizes the cavern that he is moving through is covered in eyes that blink, glowing green. The walls, the ceiling, all keep a steady gaze upon him. As Garman, I advance with eyes half closed, attempting to make my way through the cavern, guided more than anything by my own feet. As Garman, I pull out my spear with the torch on the left hand and the spear on the right, using the spear as a tool to guide me through the irregular cavern floor. I use the adaptive special ability to use to employ spears instead of awareness as I move through the cavern. As Garman, I steady myself in order not to fall while keeping the tenuous balancing act of moving with eyes half closed and employing the spear. I push the roll, becoming dazed in the process. Garman safely makes his way and spots a dark tunnel at the very end of the cavern. As Garman, I proceed into the dark tunnel. And this concludes this part of the solo actual play tutorial. It's very fun to come up with these results, the random generation of a danger, oddity, sealed doorway, gigantic corpse, and displayed the unsettling laughter, etc. And this played out perfectly with the hazard that was triggered of the troll. And I felt really bad when I forgot the dagger and the torch because what happens in the fiction and stays there. So I forgot to pick up my torch and my dagger. And now they are left there behind. But at least I am still alive and not as wounded, at least. Well, thank you once again for watching this solo tutorial actual play. In the next part, of course, I am going to continue, probably next week, most likely. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, perfect example of today. It is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Keep that immersion, that magic going. Once again, thank you and see you later.